Well, today, on the 400th episode of WCR Nation, we're going to talk about the facts that I've learned over the years that really have nothing to do with what you think. I have been in this industry, super dedicated, super in it. I've picked up a lot of things, and hopefully you will too. So either way, it's number 400, baby. Let's hang out. Stay tuned to WCR Nation. What's up, everybody? Jersey here from windowcleaner.com, and you are here on the 400th episode. So nuts. 400 weeks straight without missing a beat. I've been on cruises with no internet access on those times. I've been at conferences and shows and still haven't missed an episode. So knock on wood that's not going to happen for a while. But I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're here. And by the way, it's 400. If you think you like what I do, review it on like Spotify or something. Let me place your orders, at least for the 400th. You could give me like a congratulatory, here, put my order in, high five. We'll get to that later, but I just want to say thank you. If you're here, you watch something, maybe this is your first time, maybe it's not. If it's your first time, then welcome. If it's not your first time, thank you for 400 weeks of doing this. So I really, really appreciate it. And there are a lot of you who listen every single week, and it's just rad. So thank you so much for that. Today, I do want to talk about the facts that I've learned about business, about here, window cleaning, kind of all of that. And none of it really has to do with window cleaning. I know that kind of sounds weird, but I picked up a lot of things. A lot of things. I'll tell you, I've said this before. This is no exaggeration, though. I talk to hundreds of window cleaning companies a week. Now, maybe closer to only 100 in the slow time, but in the spring, summer, fall, I speak to a lot. You got to think, I'm on chat I have a 13-hour shift on Monday alone. I have an 8-hour, 9-hour shift on Tuesday. That's just chat. I'm on the phones. I am answering questions. I am on Facebook groups. I am answering the phones. I'm on the phone for 25 to 30 hours a week of my 40-hour week. I'm on the phone. Like, I talk to a lot of window cleaners. And in those years' time, I've been in the industry for a very long time. I've worked for WCR for almost 10 years now. That's crazy. Gosh, I'm old. But I've really been able to talk to a lot of window cleaners, and I'll tell you, some of them are not in business anymore. Some of them are not in business, and that's okay too, because it opens the room for you. And anybody can start a business, but not anybody can run a business and make it successful. And there's some things that I think really kind of contributed to that. I mean, you got to think, over all these years, a lot of the companies aren't there. A lot of them are still here. I've worked with companies personally that, went from $50,000 to $53,000 a year to over $1 million a year. I work with companies that are doing 800 and something, 860, something like that, in their third year of business. Like, there are very, very successful companies, and there are companies that just don't make it. And I just want to talk about the facts that I've learned that have nothing really to how to squeegee a window. And the first one in our industry, the biggest one, I think that's so hard for people to understand. And if you're listening to this, I really do hope that you understand what I'm saying. But it's not about clean windows. Like, the biggest thing that upsets me, and it upsets me, if you know me, I don't really get upset. But the thing that saddens me, we'll say, is that there are a lot of people, especially on like pro window cleaning, my own Facebook pages or YouTube pages, where people comment and they say things like, well, I don't advertise and I just do good work and people hire me. Well, yeah, technically, I know a lot of companies who don't advertise at all. I know companies who've been in business for like 20-something years that don't advertise. They run one truck with a part-time guy. You're not ever going to be a large company by not ever advertising. And if you are, that is the slowest climb. There's guys on there, and I won't mention names. I think I blocked him because I just can't follow it anymore. But he's like way priced wrong. He is just doesn't understand anything about business. He's a one-man show. And in the same times he's said great things, he's complained. You go back and be like, hey man, I want to help. Like, here's a suggestion. Yeah, no, I don't do it that way. Okay, all right. If you don't want suggestions, I don't know at all. But if you're stuck that way and you think it's really about cleaning the window, cool. But here's the thing. Clean is not a degree. For us, it is. Like, oh man, you did like 90%. Oh, you did 100% on that window. It was amazing. There is just clean and not clean. Literally in a customer's eyes. Clean or not clean. If they look at it and they go, yeah, it's clean. Yeah, that's it. If they look at it and they see anything, that's not clean. Like, it is a simple black and white 1 and 0 type thing. It's either clean or not clean. And so many people struggle and they're like, well, I just going to clean it way better than somebody else. Nobody cares. Nobody cares that you did it better than somebody else unless the other person didn't clean it. Because remember, between 90 and 100, if somebody's like, yeah, it's clean, and you come in and you do a better job, they're like, yeah, it's clean. It is not about cleaning windows. It is about the experience, the luxury of being able to do that. Nobody dies if their windows aren't clean. It's a treat. It's a special treat. It's a very special idea. You know what? I'm going to treat myself. No matter what, people have excuses because, as you know, 50% of the people, when you show up to their house, they're like, oh my gosh, sorry I had to hire you guys. I just have been so bit. Don't apologize. This is what we do. I'm just glad we can help you. Right? People sometimes feel guilty to hire us. But why did they give us the excuses to do whatever? They wanted to treat themselves in some way. They got a bunch of stuff to do, and I got to clean the windows. But they don't have to clean the windows, even if they're having a party. They want to because they want the party to go awesome. They want people to come and go, oh my gosh, your home is immaculate. That's what they're saying, right? It's the experience that keeps people coming back. It is the way you answer the phone, the way you talk, the speed at which you book somebody. Phone bids, which, by the way, I'm not even talking about phone bids, but if you're not doing phone bids, that absolutely is, that's doing a disservice to your company. But you will get more people happier if you can do bids over the phone right then and there. Because if I call you and you say, yeah, we'll get out there this week, I'm like, I hang up and I'm like, well, that didn't do anything. But if I call you and you not only give me the price, you give me the date, you tell me about yourself, you tell me your value, I'm like, heck yeah, let's do it. Done. I hang up. Windows are done. The windows are done. It's off. It's in the chores on its way. That's the experience, the first piece of the experience. And that goes through everything. That goes to how you greet them, how fast you are, what value you bring to them, right? Are you taking shoes off and bringing them a hot coffee? Like, these are things that obviously you don't bring every customer a coffee and a fresh cookie. But the idea is that if that happens, that's what people talk about. Read reviews. Every one of you have reviews, even if it's only a couple. The reviews will always say, oh yeah, they did great work, but oh, John was so nice. Oh, he was such a nice guy. Oh, they did such good work. They were so polite. It mentions the work, but more it talks about the experience. There's too many people out there who think that somehow it's about the clean window. Well, I do good work and people... No. I'm controlling the situation when I have a business. I'm not just going to like give them good work and hope they come back because I do good work, because guess what? If they've never hired somebody else, they also do good work. They don't know. So it's not about that. And another fact that I've learned through all of this, really kind of back to this too, is networking is amazing. Next week, actually, I leave on Tuesday from when this is being recorded. I'm going to Las Vegas for the IWCA show. It's the International Window Cleaning Association show. They have a trade show and all that. We're going to have booths, obviously, but I get to talk to people in real life, see people. By the way, if you're there, please don't tell me later, oh, you're so busy. Just stop, say what's up, man. High five, fist bump, do whatever, even if I'm busy. Please. But I get to put faces to the name. I get to talk to people. I spend all day talking to people. That's pretty rad. The networking that you can do in your area is also awesome. I am 1,000% on board with being friends with other window cleaners. And it doesn't even have to be in your area. I mentioned Pro Window Cleaning. It's a Facebook group. There's trolls in Facebook. It's starting to get busier, so people are starting to be less of a troll. But in reality, Facebook groups are great. I've met some of my best friends in the entire world window cleaning. And they're window cleaners. Or they're onto something else in the industry or whatever. I've met guys and girls throughout the years that are just genuine, real friends because we just understand it. I can poke them for like, hey man, I got this thing come up, dude. I just want to get your quick reply. I could talk business. But I can also send them a message and be like, oh man, how's the new kid? Like, I could have that with somebody who understands things and they're in that. I could be happy for somebody else's journey and successes in the same space that I am because I can see what other people do. And if they're not as big as you and you're friends with them, you could maybe help them. There's nothing better. I've done this 400 episodes just to try to help people. Yeah, I put orders in and make money doing that. But realistically, you don't have to ever order from me, and a lot of you don't. Some of you just like, yeah, I'll get this free information, and I'm not going to give back to that. I'm just going to take it. Cool. Hope it helps. You get to then do that. Networking is amazing. It is absolutely phenomenal to have people in your industry, in your brain space and everything else you'll be able to talk to. It's phenomenal. And hopefully if you have people in your life like that, you'll ask them about this. But another fact that I've learned that people are really stuck on, which kind of taps to number one, is it is value over price. Now, I would like to say, whenever I'm talking about price, there will always be 2% of people who are only interested in the lowest price. Those are also the people who complain about everything because every contractor they've ever hired is hot garbage because they always buy the cheapest. Well, I don't know why this guy came in so much cheaper, but... And then you use him and go, this guy sucked. Yeah, you paid for that. Like, he knew he underbid something. You still chose him. Like, there's that. I get it. But you want to know something? If somebody's only buying you on price, the next time they talk to somebody whose price is just a little bit less, they're going to go with them. That's not a real customer. That's not a relationship. That's not a build. That's just you'll do for now. It's a one-night stand in business. You don't want those anyway. But the rest of it, it is the value, not the price. The value that they get for that. Like, I always say this, and I love this phrase. As you know, I've said it over these 400 episodes. I've said it dozens of times, probably. But I always say this. I'm going to sell you something right now, you're listening, for either $1, $100, or $1,000. But I'm not going to tell you what it is. What would you pay? Most of you would say $1. Maybe you'd be like, oh, I don't want to be the cheapest, but maybe $100. Seems like a lot. I don't know what I'm getting. Maybe I'm giving you a piece of gum. You don't know. Because I didn't tell you the value. I just told you the price. You're always going for the cheapest. You don't know what I'm talking about. But as soon as I can convey value to you, and I say, It is a brand new Lamborghini. Brand new. Fully fueled up and ready to go. Now, you go, holy cow, I will give you $1,000 right now. I'll buy two at $1,000. Now you're excited. You understand the value you're getting. It doesn't come back down to the price. I'm guessing. I'm just putting words in your mouth. But none of you are going to be like, yeah, well, I'd probably still pay $1. Yeah, only $1. Knowing it's a brand new Lamborghini, it doesn't make sense. You don't know the value. Some of you would still maybe say $1. And you are part of that 5% of people who would always choose the cheapest. And that's fine. But understand value is better than price. Because value, I can add value. Somebody could always be cheaper. And somebody always is cheaper. But I am what adds value. I'll give you an example with WCR. If you use me as a rep, sure, a ton of you just text me and be like, yo, I need a black diamond rubber. I need, whatever. I need a super channel. I need some squeegee life towels, whatever. That's phenomenal. Phenomenal. If you text me, my value, because it's the same price if you go on, you log in, you go find all this stuff, you put it in your cart, you go into checkout, you got to log in. All of that stuff, I save. So my value is putting that in easier for you, but yet I can also tell you fitment issues. Hey, I got this Etorate Pro Plus handle. Is that going to fit this channel I got in my cart? What do you get? I could tell you fitment. I could send you pictures of things. I can tell you better stuff. I can say, what do you recommend for they can do? That's my value. And it costs you nothing extra. My value is me. Like, I want to be able to help people. And a lot of times people just put orders in normally, and then when they have questions, they know they can step back and rely on me. They just place all of their orders through me, and then when they need me, I'm there. That's the value. The other companies, or the Amazon, or the what? Guess what? Amazon, Walmart, these are places. Amazon for the convenience, not always the cheapest. Walmart tries to be the cheapest. That's just their thing. You also show up to Walmart and there's crap on the floor and empty aisles and nobody wants to help you. You know when you go there, I'm not going to get any help. The value is not there. It's the cheapest. That's everything. Everything back in life. So when you go back to value versus price, it is about value. You get to create value. And the more value you bring differentiates you because the next guy's not. Like if you call me to put your orders in, or you call, I won't name names, at other companies, they're just reading out of a book. A lot of them don't even know what they're talking about. They're like, well, a lot of people buy this one. You should buy this one. Ask me a real question. I will tell you the answer. I will tell you my thoughts. Even if you don't agree with my thoughts, I'm going to tell you my thoughts. That's my value. Value over price. By the way, I should get better at segues over 400 episodes. But literally, I am a rep for windowcleaner.com. It costs you not one penny extra to let me put an order in. I mean, even to the point where you can put it all, shop all night, and then in the checkout screen, instead of clicking the checkout and going through that whole process, you just click save this cart. Text me and be like, yo, Jersey, it's in my cart. I'll take care of everything from there. And I get credit for it. You're actually paying me money without paying me money. Because I take it off, like the order, you would have paid the same amount if you did it or I did it. But I want to be valuable to you. I want to be valuable to everybody. And if you want to say, yo, happy 400th episode, and you want to give me a present, let me put your orders in. I know, shameless plug. And I'm okay with it. At this point, I am absolutely okay with it because I do like to pay, bills and buy food and, drive myself to the mountains, which most of you know I love. And that takes money. And money I only get when I place orders. Anyway, let me put your orders in. That's all I'm trying to say. And if you haven't yet, get the American Window Cleaner magazine for my 400th. Hey, happy birthday of the Nation show. I'm going to buy a magazine. Anyway, get a year subscription to the magazine. Go to awcmag.com. The magazine is the American Window Cleaner magazine. It is for window cleaners by window cleaners. It sounds corny, but it's awesome. It also comes with, of course, a sticker sheet, everything to do window cleaning. We're just involved in the industry, nerds, and I bought the magazine now 3 years ago. It's changed. It is phenomenal. I know you're going to like it. Get the magazine. Be smarter in business. Just jump into it. But if you know more than anybody else, then you are the pro. That's your competition. There's people in my neighborhood, maybe not neighborhood, but town, that don't even know there's like groups or any of this window cleaning stuff exists. They just do this job. And that actually brings me to my next fact. And there is a huge difference between a business and a job. And you're like, okay, but hear me out. If you show up and you work and you put in your 8-hour day and I made really good money. I made $1,000 today. Maybe you didn't make that much, but maybe whatever. Man, I worked today, made $750 by myself. That's phenomenal. You have a fantastic job. No. I own the business. No. You do the work. That's all you do is you go out there and you clean the windows. No one works for you. It's you. You have a job. And that's okay. Most Americans have a job. It's okay to have a job, but if you really want to have a business, that is a whole different thing. That's now, okay, I got people working for me doing these things. My entire job is the marketing, the advertising, all of that. Putting all of that stuff together to make this business go. Remember, a lot of people who fail, anybody can start a business, but they're not all good at running a business, or they'll be successful. Or maybe your 8-hour a day, only you don't have employees, is what you like. Awesome. You can't sell that. Nobody's going to be like, oh yeah, I'll take, it's just a list of people. Maybe you can. Maybe you'll find some sucker. But if you got a job, basically, you're a window cleaner and you're doing $100,000 a year all by yourself, and you can even go, hey, you want this? You want to buy this? I'm going to say, well, I guess, but it's a list of people who like window cleaning. Nothing else comes with it. There's nothing else. You're just selling, hey, you want to do my job? That's it. That's okay, but if you want to build a business, it is a different mindset. It is systems and advertising and marketing. It is having somebody do something that's the mundane so you can do what you excel at. What are you the best at? Why are you going to make it successful? That's the difference between a business and a job. Very, very, very big difference. Different tasks. Different mindset. I had one of the best things that I had heard from somebody, and I was talking with them quite a bit. And they said, you know something? This is super weird. But like a couple weeks ago, I woke up and I just realized I had a business mindset. Like all those years, I was just a window cleaner. Like I had some people work for me, but like we just cleaned windows. Like, And then all of a sudden one day I was like, I have a business. I'm a CEO. That changes everything. That changes how it's structured. How does it get better? How does it get more efficient? How many other little pieces are you working on in your business that isn't just the cleaning of the glass? Remember, it's not about clean windows. It's about the business. How are we creating that? How do we get people into this rotation? How do I get them in my web of goodness? If you just show up, you're like, oh yeah, I got a job at 10. You show up and you do it and you're like, hey, thanks, I got paid. Cool. That's a job. If you say, I got a job today at 10. I'm going to send the crews out there. I'm going to make sure that they get rescheduled in the dentist close. But while they're doing that, I'm actually going up to this business park and I have a meeting with this property manager. I'm going to go do this and this and this. That's a business. You're doing other things while the money's coming in. You're doing things to grow the business. When you see a company that's huge in numbers, that's why they're huge in numbers. They don't have a job. They're running a business. It's a different mindset, and it's okay to do any of them or any versions, but businesses are more successful. Because not only you're like, yeah, you know what? I make $100,000 a year. I do it by myself. I don't have headaches. Fantastic. You don't have an asset to sell. A business who has some headaches, but people, staff, trucks, they're making $100,000. They have an asset that they can sell. That's the difference. Right? The other thing, too, is being able to have a company run without you being there. The first time you go on vacation and have guys doing stuff, and you're like, I'm making money, I'm sitting on a beach. Your idea changes from job to business. And it's a big, big, big one. But it's okay to do both, so don't get me wrong. Every time I say this stuff, I always get some angry, I really like to. Cool, that's fantastic, fantastic. If you love your job, that's awesome. But if you're confused at why it's not growing or what it's not doing or what would you like to, or you're just looking and you're like, man, I want this to happen this way, that's part of it. That's why we talk about this. There's no wrong way. I'm just a dummy who just sits and babbles to himself. It's up to you to decide what path you want. But I'm just here to tell you the ideas that maybe you're not thinking about. And the last fact that I wish more people actually follow. People know this, but it is so absolutely hard for people to actually do. And it's to not compare your journey to someone else's. You look at this, you look at Facebook, you look at all this stuff of people saying these numbers and how much they make and what they do, and you're going, this guy just started in business. How is he doing what he's doing? I've been in business forever. Could it motivate you to be better or do more? Yes. But could it also be completely wrong? Yes. Could it also be the path that they took was different? Maybe you're still stuck in a job versus that guy who started as a business. I know a company who did his first $1 million a year before he was 21. Do you think that guy was out cleaning windows every day? No, it can't happen. And if you go, well, yeah, but he had a lot of... Yes, he did. So why are you comparing your journey to his journey? His sacrifices were different. His path was different. That's like you driving somewhere. You show up, the GPS says, you've reached your destination. And you're at a McDonald's in Virginia. You look at the other guy and you're like, where are you? Oh, I am at, the Beverly Hills. And you're like, what? Man, how did you get to go to Beverly Hills? I'm not at Beverly Hills. I'm in Virginia. Why are you comparing yourself to somebody else's journey? Like, how did they get there? They drove for 13, hours longer than you did or whatever, wherever you are. They had more fuel changes. They focused on that more. Maybe they had multiple drivers they switched between to get there. Why are you focused on their journey when you guys didn't take the same path? It's so hard because I can tell you this and you're like, well, yeah, of course, but it doesn't register. But people only tell Facebook, social media, everything that you're talking to somebody, they only tell you the real things. You ever have a real friend that you're like, oh man, dude, I was so sick. Man, I was throwing up for days. Yeah. They don't go online and tell strangers that. People don't go on and go, hey man, I'm having a really hard time making payroll right now. It's so slow. I just can't. People jump on there and then everybody goes, oh, you gotta be awesome like me. Yeah, I make it. That's why people don't say it. But then what does it look like to you and I? It looks like these guys just have nothing. Just all amazing things. Because the social media presence is almost impossible for you to then compare yourself to that. Or to not compare yourself to that. It's like people on Facebook, personal friends. You're like, oh man, how are they always traveling? They've taken 3 vacations this year. You've taken 3 vacations this year, but you just are always seeing them because you don't see the time in between. You're comparing yourself to them. Maybe they bought all their vacations on a credit card and they're drowning in debt. You pay yours in cash. You don't know their journey, so why compare yourself? It's the same thing in business. And if you're taking one thing away from this 400th episode, it's that. Don't compare yourself to somebody else. Use it as motivation, sure. Use it as a better roadmap. Like, how did you get here? But don't compare yourself and say that you're somehow not doing things the right way, because guess what? You are better than 90% of the people out there. Your company's bigger. You've grown faster. You're healthier. You're stronger. You've done this. You listen to this podcast. You're picking up stuff they're not picking up. You got the magazine. You got all that stuff. You're better than 90% of people, if not more. But you're only noticing the people who are better than you. If somebody jumps on there like, hey, how do I price this window? No, that guy's got not a lot of work. He doesn't have a lot of experience. He doesn't really know. You're better than him. You never thought that. The crazy thing about business and life in general is that there was a point in your life that you said, oh man, all I ever want is this, what I have right now. Say you're making $100,000 a year. A few years ago, you're like, man, if I could ever just get this to $100,000, I would be set. You're there. Your goals changed. But you are exactly where you thought you wanted to be at one point in your life. This is life. This is, maybe you were the type of person who's like, man, I just want 2 kids and a dog. I just want a nice house with a big porch. You might have that. If you don't, that's your goal. But if you have that, then your goals change. Well, there's like, man, I just want my kids to go to a good college. And that's not your goal. Don't compare yourself to somebody else. And it's the 400th episode of you listening to me babble. I would love to put your order in. But I would love you to want me to put you. But either way, let me put your orders in. My number is 862-312-2026. That's my cell. Text me, call me, whatever. Let me put your orders in, because that's what I want to do. It costs you nothing extra. There's no surcharge for that. And I get credit for the order, and I can live another day buying hair gel and mustache paste or whatever people always tell me. But if you're going to be an IWCA, make sure to say hello. Make sure to follow everything that we do. Follow my YouTube channel. Sure, why not? But until next week, really look at kind of the facts of the industry. Let them sink in. Hopefully, you get ready to ramp up. But more importantly, be epic.